question from Melody. If I sieve my glaze, am I sieving out good particles or ingredients? No, all of your glaze particles and ingredients should go through the sieve. All we're really doing when we're sieving is we're breaking up things that have clumped together. Um, Sometimes it's like red iron oxide. If it's not sieved, it will cause specking, and then you can sieve it. Um, and depending on the mesh size of your sieve, if you use a finer mesh, so like a higher number. So I use an 80 mesh sieve for the most part, and I have some glazes where the red iron oxide will speck, and if I use a higher mesh, like a 120 or a 200 mesh, which takes a lot longer for the sieving process, but it helps to really homogenize and break down the particles into a smaller, I don't even know, like if it's not really breaking the particles down, but it's probably separating larger particles that have kind of agglomerated together, stuck together, and breaking them down so that they're less likely to cause specking. So, yeah, so when we're sieving, like we're sieving out, maybe you have a cat or a dog in your studio and there's fuzz and hair, and or you in a community pottery studio. So I was a technician for 6 years, and so sometimes things fall in the glaze bucket. That's what you're sieving out. You're sieving out like things that aren't really supposed to be in there, and you're breaking down any lumps and clumps. So generally, why I'm sieving is because during the glazing process, the buckets are open and you're mixing, and glaze gets stuck to the sides of the containers, and then it kind of hardens. So you get these hard chunks of glaze or some sludge stuck to the sides of the containers, and then when you mix that in, it gets really lumpy. And so I would sieve to create a nice smooth glaze for the application process. Wouldn't any contaminants be burned off in the kiln? So back to sieving. Yeah, so contaminants do get burned off in the kiln, but it just bothers me. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of one of those things where, like, I sieve my clay recycling because I do have a dog, and I have really long hair, and if I have hair or something like dust or dirt or things in my glaze or my clay, it just kind of grosses me out, and I just want it all to be nice and clean and smooth. And so yes, they do burn off in the firing. I just prefer them not to be there while I'm working with it. So that's personal preference. But yeah, any like hairs and whatnot aren't really a problem, except they just bother me. So that's up to you.